Are you telling me, Marcus, that you didn't burgle any of these properties? You're not going to give us any indication at all that that was you, even though in that video that clearly is you there?
No problem.
When a crime has been committed,
There's only one thing that's meant for.
detectives must first identify a suspect.
A bloody huge zombie knife.
Same clothing, got the same bag.
Same bag.
Can we track them when they leave? How unlucky are we?
Next, they must search for rock-solid evidence.
If I'm here, I'm caught on CCTV. If I step here, it's in a blind spot.
Struck gold. Perfect angle.
The case could hinge on one tiny piece of evidence to get that person off the streets.
Get on the floor now!
Then they must put their case to the test, face to face with a suspect in the interview room.
Criminals are always lying to us. It's just a matter of working out truth from the lies and being able to prove their lies.
You've said you're scared of these people. You're certainly not scared of this person.
There's always two sides to every story. We're here to investigate and build the evidence.
Will the evidence stand or fall? Will the suspect tell the truth? Or will they manage to hide it?
They might be telling you one thing, but their body language is telling you another story. For a jury to convict, it's down to us to prove those offences.
So that is your man.
This time, detectives track down a serial burglar,
We're going to hot-foot it over there and see if we find him.
suspected of carrying out a one-man crime spree.
It's horrible and I'm on my own here.
I'm getting sick to death of him.
So, are you telling me that you didn't burgle any of these properties?
Norfolk Police Emergency, go ahead, caller.
Hello there. Look, we've just got in and someone's been in and burgled the house. They've taken jewellery, money.
How much are we talking?
About £800.
Oh no.
Norfolk Police Emergency, go ahead, caller.
Hello, I've just come home from work and somebody smashed my window and they rummaged through the whole house.
Across North Norfolk, a massive spike in burglaries has left the community living in fear.
It looks as though someone's aimed them through the window.
Yeah.
I think somebody must have got in.
Thousands of pounds worth of goods have been stolen from over a dozen properties in broad daylight.
There's a brick being thrown through the window and there's glass everywhere.
Oh, it's horrible and I'm on my own here. They could even be in here somewhere. I don't know.
And the victims, all elderly and vulnerable.
And I'm 92. I've lived here 32 years. And I've never, ever had nothing here.
Hey Marley.
Right, boss, how you doing?
Yeah, fine.
Detective Inspector Tom Smith
Bit of a busy day ahead.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay, cheers, well
Cheers,
done.
boss.
and his CID team have the challenge of finding out who's responsible.
What we're seeing at the moment is burglaries in broad daylight. On one occasion, the elderly resident was actually at home during the burglary, which is absolutely abhorrent. Vulnerable people or elderly people, the stress that burglary can cause, you know, it can have detrimental effects on their health. You know, it can accelerate illness or, you know, mental health issues. It really is a devastating crime for particularly elderly or vulnerable people to suffer. So what we see typically with burglaries is once they start, they're not going to stop. And they really don't think about the victims or the consequences of what they're doing.
Despite the crimes all being committed in plain sight, so far they have no eyewitnesses. So detectives are starting the investigation on the back foot.
I mean, looking at the frequency of some of them, I mean, we can go for months without any dwelling burglaries in some of those areas. We've had 4 in one day.
Yeah, it's got to be a series and a pattern. When you look at the geographical route that they could have taken, it's got to be linked.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
This relentless crime wave hitting just a handful of postcodes.
Yeah, look at this.
Gives detectives Marley Simmons and Dylan Thomas a rare chance of catching a potentially violent serial offender red-handed.
So These are the ones mapped that we know of at the moment.
They hope that analysing the pattern of the burglaries could be the first piece of the jigsaw.
These two here, they're next door neighbours that were done. And then these three are the ones that we think were done sequentially. So obviously Winterton, Hemsby and Scrappy, and they're the ones done on the 12th.
So the MO for all of these is the same?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Smash either a rear window, rear pane of glass on a door, get in, grab all the jewellery and cash.
Yeah.
And unfortunately as well for our victims, they're all vulnerable elderly victims.
So they've deliberately gone for the people more vulnerable or most vulnerable?
Yeah, definitely.
The burglar's MO confirms that these brazen daytime break-ins must be the work of one person.
Have we got any photos from the crime scene of the MO?
Yeah, I'll show you some of the photos we've got.
Whose confidence appears to be growing with every successful raid.
So this one, as you'll see, is a smash window to the bedroom.
Literally pulled every drawer out and turfed everything onto the floor.
Smash and grab. This is the one where the 93-year-old woman was actually inside during it. And you'll see, look, there's the rock on the floor, the glass fragments everywhere, which are going to be submitted for forensics as well. You just can't imagine coming home to that, could you? Do you know what I mean? Like, the kind of effect that has on you and how intrusive a crime like this is.
With no suspects in the frame, detectives need to act fast.
Back there.
Anxious that this fearless burglar could turn to violence, it's vital they take him off the streets before he strikes again.
Is it number 49 we're after?
Yeah, right down the bottom, I believe.
Marley has a hunch that the perpetrator, staking out people's homes for potential targets, could have been caught on doorbell CCTV. So immediately heads out to the village where 3 of the recent break-ins occurred, before any crucial evidence is deleted.
It's a lovely area though, that's the thing. It's quite unusual for burglaries to occur out here. Hi there, you're right. Are you aware of the burglaries that occurred around the corner?
Yeah, we saw it on Facebook.
Your Ring doorbell, would I be able to look at your footage or get a download of your footage in relation to that?
Sure.
So many people have Ring doorbells nowadays, don't they?
Yeah.
It's brilliant for us because the footage is really clear. I've got one as well.
Yep.
With their homes under threat, everyone is keen to help catch the serial burglar.
Morning. How you doing? You all right? Police, just in relation to the burglaries around the corner, if you've been aware of those. Your Ring doorbell, would you be able to download your footage for us?
We should be able to do that.
Lovely, brilliant. Been quite fruitful so far.
But for one resident, it's already too late.
Afternoon, Jane, how are you?
Good afternoon.
When her home was broken into, windows smashed and jewellery taken, Jane became the burglar's latest victim.
It's strange. I lock doors behind me now.
Yeah.
Never used to.
No, I don't blame
Do
you.
it all the time now.
So, how have things been since, Jane?
Straight after it, I was really, really jittery. Sitting in here in the evening, everywhere locked up through there.
Yeah.
But slightest noise, and I'd be thinking, "What's that?" And I'd go and check all the bedrooms.
Yeah.
So it did leave me feeling extremely unsettled. I've got heart problems now that I never had before.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the stress of it,
Yeah.
because it's an awful thing to happen, you know?
Yeah, without a doubt.
This is my home.
It's such an intrusive crime, isn't it? And I can't begin to imagine how it must make
No.
you feel.
Wanting to prevent him leaving more traumatised victims in his wake, Marley's best chance of stopping the serial burglar in his tracks rests with the neighbour's CCTV.
So we're now looking up the same road. Yeah.
But has the burglar been smart enough to dodge the cameras?
Okay. So this one is on the roads of Scrappy, just before the burglary occurs. Okay. So this first angle, you see him go in, walking into a nearby property, and it looks as though he's scoping this out for a burglary before noticing the cameras. Distinctive clothing, hood up, and there he goes. And then we pick him up on this camera here, which is the driveway camera, and as you'll see, he comes down. He hasn't even clocked this camera, actually. It's really, really clear.
Marley, have you seen this?
Yeah, I've just opened that through the other room.
Got a very grainy image of an individual. He's known to have committed burglaries before. His MO is very crude in that he will either go in through insecure windows or he will just crudely smash his way in with a rock. And I believe that is Marcus Stewart.
Yeah, that's definitely Marcus Stewart, without a doubt.
If known offender Marcus Stewart is behind this one-man crime wave, it's a pattern of offending that started when he was just a kid.
He's been burgling for the best part of 5 or 6 years now at least. Bear in mind he's only 20. He started kind of when he was about 15, 16, low-level thefts, and built his way up, and yeah, he's been convicted in numerous series of burglaries. He's literally just been released from prison for a string of burglaries, and he's still on licence now. Our offender management team were fairly confident that he was doing well. He'd got himself a job upon being released from prison and was working hard, but something has clearly changed in his life.
This unusual case has taken a disturbing turn.
I don't know whether it's greed, lack of money, or what, but he did really well for about 3 months and has just gone back to his old ways, unfortunately.
If repeat offender Marcus Stewart is desperate enough to return to his old ways, what lengths might he go to evade capture?
He is somebody that we would adopt a policy of catch and convict, i.e. he's committed numerous offences. If we can prove offences against him, he goes to prison. But given what we know about his history, his offender behaviour, his MO, then we've sort of declared him as the main suspect for that burglary series.
Marcus Stewart may be suspect number 1, but first, police need to find and apprehend him.
So if you go up to search Marcus Stewart, see if that comes back.
Sergeant Nick Tungate has been tasked with his immediate arrest.
Hang on, just go back, sorry, go to that one then. So down, that one, yeah. Oh, yes.
And it seems he's crossed paths with Stewart before.
Yes.
You know
Me and Johnny Loud nicked him, we had a roll around with him. Yeah, I know who that is now. Right, can we just have a quick scrum down in here, guys, just quickly?
Stewart has a history of aggressively resisting arrest. So Nick gathers his specialist unit, Moonshot, for backup.
The burglaries, when they happened, were really in quite quick succession. If he's out there committing, he'll be out there committing at this moment in time. So let's spread our wings and see whether we can find him.
He's driving. Yeah, good point.
Seasoned criminal Stewart is well versed in police tactics.
We're probably about 4 minutes out from our location.
Having no fixed address makes it easier for him to stay one step ahead of the investigation.
So the longer Marcus is at large, we lose evidential opportunities. We've got the circumstantial CCTV evidence putting him in the area at the time, but it's not enough. So we really want his phone, distinctive clothing. So the sooner we arrest him and detain him, the better, because we don't want him to get rid of anything that could be of evidential value to us, and that could be crucial in placing him at the scene of those burglaries.
We're downstairs when you're ready.
We've divided up into 4 teams. Just have a look and see whether or not we can flush him out. Go ahead.
We'll be going work address for about 2 minutes.
The teams have intel on 4 addresses they want to strike simultaneously.
As soon as we're all in position, I'll give the go-go.
Leaving Stewart no opportunity to give them the slip or destroy vital evidence.
If we find him, we're going to treat him as a crime scene in itself, and that will include forensic samples due to the nature of the crimes that have been committed. That's it, the road here, isn't it? Yeah, we've parked up Lower Cliff Road, mate. Me and you go to the front. You two go to the rear. So you two need to get down that back pretty quick.
With all units now in position,
All units from Golf X-ray 30. Go, strike to the addresses of it.
the net is closing in on Stuart.
Hello, police.
Hello, police.
Can these policemen just come upstairs?
We're not looking for anything else other than a person, all right?
Just confirm you got the strike. Got curtain movement. Is that him?
I don't think it was.
Sergeant Nick Tungate is outside a property linked to the suspect's girlfriend.
We're looking for Marcus. Do you know where he is at the minute?
Not a clue.
Have you messaged him?
I have tried calling him. He's got his phone off.
It's just, he knows we need to speak to him now, you know. What he'll do is he's likely to turn up here.
Okay, yeah. I will be telling him. And I think that's the most I can do. Whether he's going to listen to what I'm saying is a whole different matter.
Okay.
Thank you.
No worries, you take care.
No worries.
This is a negative.
Without enough evidence against him to trigger a search warrant.
Do you have the suspect? Yeah, received, mate. Cheers.
Nick's attempt to corner Stuart have reached a dead end.
We've tried all of the addresses and they've all proved negative. He could already be out looking to burgle again. We've spoken to his girlfriend and we've not really got a massive amount of intelligence from her.
But then, there's an unexpected call from HQ.
Go ahead, Ava.
Marcus has just phoned me, stating, don't let them go to anyone's houses tonight. I will hand myself in at 8 tomorrow morning.
Cheers, thank you.
Marcus Stewart has thrown a curveball, but Nick suspects foul play.
I very much doubt he's going to hand himself in tomorrow. We need to make sure we get Stuart in as soon as we can, so we're going to keep looking for him.
Be a stalling tactic to come in tomorrow morning. He won't have his phone on him, so we can't look at his phone, can we, and use that as evidence.
Stewart may be giving police the runaround, but his tactic might just have backfired.
Go, Debs.
Certainly in the background when he was talking, because it kind of sounded like he was in a moving vehicle, because you could hear one of the road noise intermittently as he was talking.
Excellent, thank you.
But police know that Stewart can't drive.
It sounds like he's on the move in a car. We think it's probably more likely to be taxi.
Yeah, received.
If Stewart is in a taxi right now, Nick needs to track it down, and fast. He quickly calls around some local cab firms.
Hello, my name's Sergeant Nick Tungate. I'm a police officer at Great Yarmouth Police Station. We're doing some inquiries in relation to a taxi that may have been used by someone we're looking for. We were wondering whether or not you would have any details. That's great, thank you. Thanks, bye-bye. So we've rung around all the taxi companies to see whether they picked someone up from where he's been staying, and we're just going to go there now, just to have a chat with them, see if we can get the information that we require.
Nick heads to a local firm who've agreed to check over their recent bookings.
Hello mate, you alright? But we're on a live investigation and we just want to have a look and quickly see what you've got and if you've got anything. Is that alright?
The company quickly confirmed that Stewart hasn't hired a cab today.
A lot of calls in 1 week. Yeah, that's from the 11th to now.
Blimey. Now?
But they have received calls previously from a mobile linked to Stewart.
Did we pay the call?
Hello, it's just an inquiry. How much do you normally charge from, like, say, Great Yarmouth Town Centre to Winton?
We're looking at about £20.
Alright, cheers, mate, thank you.
Brilliant.
It seems that Stewart may have boxed himself into a corner.
Hello boss, it's Nick, you alright? Okay, so I've got some cracking evidence.
And unwittingly led Nick to clues as to how he's getting to and from the burglaries.
We put his number into their system the morning of the burglaries, and Marcus is asking for a cab from Great Yarmouth to Winterton, where the first burglary occurred. The driver didn't take him because they didn't have enough cabs. Cheers, boss. I'll see you later. Bye. Mate, you're a star. Thanks ever so much for your help. Really appreciate it. Lovely. Thank you. It's looking good. But now we've got to find him. So that's the tricky part.
The new evidence could help trip Stewart up.
Had you used the taxi to go out, commit the burglaries, taxi then got back to pick him up again?
Could be, couldn't it?
If he's been using taxis as a getaway vehicle, and is in one right now, it's a chance for detectives to catch him red-handed.
Hey Marley, what's the latest?
Back at HQ, Marley calls round all the other local cab companies.
So we're just running some inquiries at the moment. There's 2 main ones in Yarmouth.
Brilliant, well done.
Cheers, boss.
He hopes to identify any cabs hired this morning, heading out to the locations targeted by the burglar.
If somebody's running him out there, a taxi firm, and they're waiting for him for a few minutes and he's coming back, it's going to be bloody obvious what's going on.
Yeah.
So I want to know who that taxi driver is and whether they need looking at as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's not long before there's a positive hit from a local traffic camera.
So we've got a potential taxi that might have been used by him. Our guys have just heard that the vehicle is likely to be up ahead. Hello, boss, it's Nick, you're right.
If that taxi gets pulled and Marcus is in the back of it, nick fucking both of them. We're getting their phones and everything.
Yep.
Marcus knows he's wanted. They can both be fucking next.
Brilliant, yep. Guys, spin it. We're behind that vehicle.
If it's Stuart's in the back, he probably will run, so...
Yeah, it's not in the vehicle, it's empty.
Marcus Stewart has once again given detectives the slip.
Stay in this side of the car, we'll explain why we're here. No worries. Okay.
But could the driver turn out to be more than just an innocent cabbie?
Okay, so the reason you've been stopped today is your vehicle's been identified to us that may be linked to a suspect that's involved in burglary. We want to try and work out whether you're suspect, all right, or witness. Will you work on Monday?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so on Monday, do you have any fares out towards Hemsby and the northern villages?
I did.
And who did you take out that way?
Older gentleman.
Right, okay. Do you know anyone called Marcus?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay, so we're going to show this person, all right?
I've seen him around Yarmouth, but I haven't had him this week in my car. I can be pretty much certain of that.
So Sam, have you checked their phone numbers?
I'm 100% his phone is clear.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sorry mate, this is a negative with this this taxi. We're going to let this gentleman go. Right, thanks ever so much for your time. Sorry to stop you.
With the cab driver cleared of any involvement in the burglaries, officers have reached a dead end.
It's just frustrating, isn't it? With some criminals, it is like a game of chess. I don't let sleeping dogs lie. I won't rest until we get Marcus and put him before the court.
With Stewart still on the loose, a few hours later, Nick receives worrying news.
There's an email that's just been sent through to us for an ID for a burglary suspect in Suffolk, and the images of Marcus Stewart. It seems that he's actually been quite prolific in what he's doing.
It seems this one-man crime spree is showing no sign of stopping.
The clothing even matches the CCTV for our jobs, so...
So he's been busy on us, and he's busy in Suffolk.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting sick to death of him.
Stewart's offending in a neighbouring county raises the stakes.
So now it's game on really to get him in. Everybody will be out on the hunt to get Marcus.
Yeah. We're into double figures in terms of numbers of burglaries. He also knows that we're after him now, so he has nothing to lose. It's really key that we get him in.
We've got no reason to think that he's going to stop. We need to stop him offending, and the only way we're going to do that is to arrest him, charge him and remand him in custody.
Despite a round-the-clock search, burglary suspect Marcus Stewart continues to evade detectives. He's failed to hand himself in as promised, so Nick reboots the manhunt.
Right, so good morning, everyone. Today, we're going to go back out and look for Marcus Stewart. He's still wanted. He's also wanted for several burglaries in Suffolk now. He's likely to carry on offending. We'll go out there, try and get him in. Right, we'll head out in 5. Stewart's got to show his head at some point, and when he does, we're going to be there for him. So we are attending another few addresses looking for Marcus Stewart. He's clearly not going to hand himself in like he said he would. He's going to lie low and keep his head down.
Officers hope that Stewart's mother might give them a lead.
Hello.
His family and friends might get fed up with getting door knocks. He brings that problem to their door because of his behaviour, but we won't stop until he's in.
He just phoned me about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. He's going to hand himself. He's just on his way now to hand himself in. I said to him, where are you? He said, I'm by the Sea Life Centre, which is on the sea.
Okay.
Just speaking to his mum, he's going to hand himself in now.
Fuck's sake. Ah, bloody nightmare. He may be heading towards our police investigation centre. Sam, you still there, mate? We're breaking from here.
The news that Stewart may be sticking to his word after all sets alarm bells ringing for Nick.
The problem is, if he hands himself in, then evidence-wise, he's probably going to likely have nothing on him. If he ditches his phone, then that's going to make our job a lot harder. We're going to hot-foot it over there and see if we find him. We'll meet him halfway.
But it seems seasoned burglar Stewart is one step ahead.
All right, can Mark, try to step out of the car, mate? Yeah.
He's already made it to the station car park.
Mark's told us at 11:15. We're under arrest on suspicion of burglary. He didn't say anything that may harm the defence. If you don't mention any questions, hopefully later on in court.
And got one over on the detectives.
That's it, just pop yourself in there, mate. I'll just go through your pocket. He's got no phone in, funny enough.
Right, Marcus has been arrested. Sadly, no phone.
Okay, that's Marcus for you. He's fairly switched on, isn't he? He's clearly trying to make it hard for us. No doubt it would have had evidence on there of content of messages or something that would suggest where he's selling things, where he's stashing things.
So Marcus is very experienced in these matters. He's probably had time to cleanse himself almost. He's handed himself in. He'll have fresh clothing, fresh shoes, and he probably thinks that he's outsmarted us there.
But Stewart may not have been as clever as he thinks.
Northgate Street, top end, near the junction with Private Plane.
He's just revealed that his dad drove him to the station.
So we want to try and locate his dad and his dad's car.
Giving Nick one more roll of the dice.
It was quite important to get the car stopped to try and obtain any more evidence. His mobile phone.
Yeah,
stop.
306.
Mr. Stewart, isn't it?
Yeah, I've just dropped Marcus.
I know. We're going to search the car for any stolen property, mate. Anything in the car shouldn't be here. Any of his property.
How do we lift those back seats up, just so I can check underneath the back seats?
You just pull them back.
Thank you very much.
OK, so I'm going to give you a search, mate, yeah? If you've got this phone on you, because if you have, we'll find it.
Phone. No,
Definitely not.
No, I haven't got his phone on.
OK.
Is this his coat?
Yeah, that's his, yeah. He bought that with his wages, Christmas.
It's a positive in the car, mate. We've got the jacket that's identified from the burglaries.
Case, no phone.
Do we know where the phone's gone, mate?
He just dropped them off, that's it.
Oh, mate. We've got the case, but no phone.
With Stewart now in custody, detectives are on the clock. They have just 24 hours to make a charge or release him.
We've got a jacket that matches exactly the same jacket that he was seen wearing in one of the CCTV stills. It's quite a distinctive puffer-style jacket. Brilliant. You know, it's certainly going to make it harder for him to come up with any defence for why he may have been in that area at the time of the burglaries.
The distinctive jacket is strong circumstantial evidence, but without his phone, would it be enough to prove Stewart's guilt beyond doubt?
He's handed himself in. It's almost like, yeah, you not even got anything, you know, I've produced myself without my phone, without anything, almost like a clean slate.
Just comes down to here.
Forensics may be the detective's best bet for turning the tables on Stewart.
Once glass smashes, shards go probably up to about 5 or 10 metres. So if he's got any glass in his hair, that can potentially be matched up to glass at the scene, then that's good evidence to put him at the scene.
Samples will be rushed to the lab for analysis, but the results might not be back before the custody clock runs out.
Oh, Dylan.
So Inspector Tom Smith and Detective Dylan Thomas need to get their tactics right when they confront Stewart for the first time in interview.
So all I'm really looking for this evening is just a first account interview to ask him about his whereabouts at the time of those burglaries. Has he been in that area at that time, and leave it at that. Sure. Bearing in mind we've got forensic work that's gone off on an urgent. So what I don't want at the moment is any evidence put to him in relation to him being positively identified in the area, because what I will then look to do is obviously put the challenge interview into him tomorrow once we've got the result of those forensics.
Sure, okay, no problem.
Super job. Thanks, mate.
Tom's two-pronged attack could help trip Stewart up.
An account interview is an opportunity for a suspect to account for their presence at a scene, involvement in an incident, and a challenge interview is used to challenge that account. If someone says, I wasn't there, and we then find evidence that puts them at the scene, we'll challenge that account.
But without his phone, as they head to interview, Stewart has the upper hand.
The evidence isn't overwhelming at the moment. We've got circumstantial CCTV. We've not got him going into the burglary address. At this moment in time, the scales are in Marcus's favour because we don't have that absolute premium bit of evidence that says he's done these burglaries.
So Marcus knows the system. He's been interviewed numerous times. He will avoid answering questions to try and draw out the evidence that we've got for him then to talk his way out of that evidence.
I'm going to go, Marcus, to the reason that you're here now and talk about these offences. So what I'm going to do is concentrate firstly on the Norfolk burglaries, go through those with you. The first one we're going to talk about is in Ormsby. What can you tell me about that burglary, Marcus?
No comment.
Did you force your way into that property and steal items in there?
No comment.
Okay. So the next one I want to talk about is in Hemsby, Norfolk. So at this address, the rear door is being forced to gain entry into the property, and items, jewellery, have been stolen from in that address. Did you burgle that address, Marcus?
No comment.
Can you point me in the direction of someone who's going to disprove your involvement?
No comment.
I need to just point out to you that although you are not admitting these offences, you're not denying them either, mate, all right? This is your opportunity to clear this up now. There are, 13 offences we're talking to you about. I can see you getting bored through this.
In that case, I'll now end the recording and stop the interview. He's not denied that he burgled any of these properties. Marcus provided a no-comment interview. He didn't flinch, he didn't smile. I think he just appeared bored throughout the whole process.
Stewart is treading a well-worn path. But without stronger evidence, a no-comment interview may be enough to get him off the hook.
Marcus will be rubbing his hands at the moment because we don't have enough to charge him. We need to gather the evidence and hopefully we'll get that golden nugget that helps us push it over the threshold.
With the custody clock ticking, Tom checks in on the forensics.
Hey, Dylan.
Boss?
What about the forensics? Because obviously there's been quite a lot of stuff seized and recovered.
So that's all gone off to the lab. I don't think the results will come back before his time is out and he has to be released.
That problem.
Yeah.
So we're not going to get a chance to process them within his clock. We're going to have to take it to a charging threshold.
Without forensic results conclusively putting Marcus at the scene, the detective's case is close to collapse.
Realistically, we have to consider, do we have enough, or are we going to have to release him on bail? It's down to us to prove the offences. We need the golden nugget of evidence to secure those charges, or he will be released under investigation and continue committing offences.
But at the 11th hour, Marley's luck may just have turned.
That's the address there.
Unseen CCTV from the locations of recent burglaries has just come in.
There he is. So there he is now walking past. And this is the victim's address. And he walks in with an empty bag in his hand and then comes out with a bag full of goods out of the burglary address. And then he carries on walking down the road.
Yeah, same clothing as well.
Yeah, clothing is identical. And then this last bit of footage is from a burglary named Scrappy. And as you'll see, he appears here. And what has happened here, he's been disturbed by a female occupant that he's trying to burgle, and he runs off, hood down, but as you'll see, he's got this, or looks like the same bag, as well, same clothing as the previous footage.
The new CCTV evidence could be Stuart's downfall.
So we've got CCTV at one of the locations. He is seen coming from the rear of the address with a bag that we know was stolen from the address. So he can't wriggle out of that, and it's that evidence on that CCTV that will sink him.
So CCTV is going to be key for the interview. It's down to the wire. If we don't get a charge, we're looking at him being released.
Yeah.
On the back of potentially committing all these burglaries.
Armed with new CCTV evidence, the detectives prepare to interview Stuart again, this time with a much stronger hand.
CCTV is pretty good. I'd like to think that he would look at that and admit that he has been caught bang to rights and admit the offences.
But could Stuart, even now, escape charges if he can find a way to cast doubt on the evidence they have built?
What I'm going to show you now is some CCTV. I want to show you the driveway. I've got a camera here. So look at the top of the driveway and we'll see someone coming down the driveway. So black puffer jacket, black trousers, white logo. Is that you, Marcus? Because it looks like you, exactly like you. I mean, looking at you today and your appearance and looking at that CCTV, that is clearly to me, that is you. Do you want to look at that again? You okay with seeing that? We cut to another camera covering a front garden. You'll see that same person there, who I believe to be you, walking across the road, goes in, then it cuts forward. So 15-20 minute period, that same individual comes out of that house, clearly carrying a bag. So we've got you going in, person I believe to be you, and then coming out again, and a bag there in your hand. We can't see what's in the bag, but it's a bag from that property. Is that individual you, Marcus?
No.
Are you seen there going in, burgling, and then coming out with a bag of property, stolen property? Okay. And then one final piece of CCTV to show you. Okay, this is a camera covering the cliffs and the beach. You'll see someone on the left-hand side of the screen moving towards the right. So a white bag, much like the white bag that was being carried out of number 35, same puffer jacket, same tracky bottoms, running across the back of the houses.
No problem.
So are you telling me, Marcus, that wasn't you, that person is not you?
No.
These are photographs, exhibits that were dropped here by your father, Nave Vauxhall, which was stopped shortly afterwards. And there's pictures of clothing there, which obviously matches, the coat matches what my colleague has just shown you in them burglaries. Is that your coat?
No comment.
Which has been seized from the back of your father's car.
So are you telling me, Marcus, that you didn't burgle any of these properties? Okay. I mean, you know as well as I do, you've previously been convicted for burglaries. You've got 46 theft and kindred offences on your record. You're only 21. And you've got 15 pages of records on the police computer for someone your age. It really is in your interest to say to me now, yeah, that was me. Yeah, I did that burglary. You're not going to give us any indication at all that that was you, even though in that video that clearly is you there. All right, unless anyone's got anything else to add, we'll end the interview there.
This time, going no comment may have played into the detective's hands.
He went no comment, but you could see that there was a shift there, that he knew that he could see himself in that footage, and probably started realising at that point that we had probably got enough evidence.
So often in interviews, people will be very, very uncomfortable, and they might be telling you one thing, but their body language is certainly telling you another story. In this case with Marcus, you got all their non-verbal communication, arms folded, won't look at you.
But the CPS may still decide the case against him isn't strong enough.
It'd be highly disappointing, but you never know with the decisions made on the day. Depends if the lawyer goes for it.
Yeah, fingers crossed that we do get that result in time.
Yeah.
All right.
See you in a bit, mate.
All the team can do now is wait and hope.
Sometimes a case could hinge on one tiny piece of evidence, a small piece of forensic evidence, even for 5 seconds, a clip of CCTV that can make that case. So in this case, is that evidence strong enough? And sometimes you do question yourself.
Oh, yes. Is this me? Yeah, Mr. Stewart. We suspect so. Yeah, from the previous burglaries. Yeah. Superb. All right, well, lovely. Thank you for your call. Bye. Charges. 2 charges for us.
Okay, brilliant.
1 for Suffolk,
Yeah.
so 3 in total.
Good.
Yeah, good news.
It's the result the detectives hoped for. 3 charges will be enough to keep Stewart behind bars, whilst the investigation continues into the outstanding burglaries.
Marcus Stewart has really caused some detriment to our communities, and especially the vulnerable elderly victims that he tends to target. So it's really good to lock him away and to prevent him from doing it to anyone further.
What we've seen here is a series of burglaries with genuine victims, and it's going to have an effect on their lives. So to get that person off the streets, you feel you're doing something good for the community. Nothing warms the cockles of my heart more than to lock up a burglar. I hate them.